Jason is 31 years old. He lives in Columbus, Ohio. He works in sales operations at a mid-sized manufacturing company, making $74,000 a year. He's practical, budget-conscious, and considers himself reasonably smart with money. He has a 401k. He has an emergency fund. He reads the occasional personal finance article when it shows up in his feed. Last March, Jason bought a new 2025 Honda Accord Sport. The sticker price was $31,500. He put $3,000 down, financed the remaining $28,500 at 7.4% interest over 60 months, and drove off the lot feeling like he had made a responsible, sensible adult decision. His monthly payment is $568. He tells people he bought a $31,500 car. He is wrong. Jason did not buy a $31,500 car. He bought a car that will cost him $53,847 by the time it is paid off and sold or traded in. And that is before insurance, before maintenance, before registration fees, before tires, before the inevitable repair that always seems to happen just outside the warranty window. When you add everything up, every dollar that leaves Jason's pocket because he owns that car, the true number is closer to $84,000 over 5 years. He bought a $31,500 car and spent $84,000 on it. If you have ever looked at a monthly payment and thought that seems manageable, if you have ever walked off a car lot feeling like you got a good deal without knowing what the car will actually cost you over its lifetime, this video is going to completely change how you think about car buying. My name is Marcus, and I spend way too much time thinking about the gap between what things appear to cost and what they actually cost. If this is the kind of content that makes your financial decisions sharper, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Here is the fundamental problem with how most people think about car buying. They think about the sticker price, or worse, they think about the monthly payment. And both of those numbers are designed to make the car feel affordable. Neither of them tells you what the car actually costs. The sticker price is the starting point of a negotiation, not the total cost of ownership. The monthly payment is what the financing industry wants you to focus on, because it makes any price seem manageable when spread across 60 or 72 months. Total cost of ownership is the only number that matters, and almost nobody calculates it before signing. Let me break down every single component of what a car actually costs, and we will use Jason's Accord as the real-world example throughout. The first cost is the most obvious: the purchase price plus financing. Jason paid $31,500 for the car. He financed $28,500 at 7.4% over 60 months. At that rate and term, his monthly payment comes to $568. Over 60 months, he will make payments totaling $34,080. That means he paid $28,500 to the bank and gave them $5,580 in interest on top of it. Add his $3,000 down payment, and the actual purchase cost of this car is $37,080. Not $31,500. He has already paid $5,580 more than the sticker price, and he has not driven it for a single year yet. Now here is what most people do not factor in at all: depreciation. The moment Jason drove that 2025 Honda Accord off the lot, it lost approximately 11% of its value. That is around $3,465 gone in the first few hours of ownership. Not from damage. Not from anything he did wrong, just from the transition from new to used. By the end of year one, that car is worth roughly $25,200. Jason paid $31,500 for it, and it is now worth $25,200. He has lost $6,300 in value in 12 months. By year two, it is worth approximately $21,000. By year three, approximately $17,500. By year four, approximately $14,800. By By the end of year 5, when his loan is paid off, it is worth approximately $12,500. He paid $37,080 for a car that is now worth $12,500. The depreciation loss alone over 5 years is $19,000. That is money he spent and will never see again. It is not an investment. It is not equity. It vanishes the moment wheels meet road. The second cost that most buyers dramatically underestimate is insurance. In 2026, the average annual cost of full coverage auto insurance in the United States is approximately $2,150 per year. For a 31-year-old male in Ohio driving a 2025 Accord, that number sits around $1,980 per year. Over 5 years, that is $9,900 in insurance premiums. Money that leaves Jason's account every year regardless of whether he ever makes a single claim. Over 5 years, that is $10,080 in routine maintenance. But we also need to account for the non-routine repairs. The things that break outside the warranty window, the water pump at 67,000 miles, the brake caliper, the battery, the alternator. Industry data from AAA and Consumer Reports consistently shows that unexpected repair costs average $1,200 to $1,800 per year on vehicles between 3 and 7 years old. Call it $1,500 per year over the back half of the 5-year ownership period. That adds another $4,500 to the total. Combined maintenance and repair cost over 5 years, $14,580. The fourth cost is fuel. Jason's 2025 Accord Sport gets approximately 32 miles per gallon combined. At 14,000 miles per year and a 2026 national average gas price of $3.42 per gallon, Jason is spending approximately $1,494 per year on fuel. Over 5 years, that is $7,470. The fifth cost is registration, taxes, and fees. In Ohio, the annual registration fee for a vehicle in this class runs approximately $65 per year. But in the year of purchase, there are title fees, dealer documentation fees, and sales tax. Ohio charges 5.75% sales tax on vehicle purchases. On a $31,500 vehicle, that is $1,811 in sales tax alone, typically rolled into the financing, which means Jason is also paying interest on his taxes. Add dealer documentation fees, averaging $250, title and plate fees around $175, and annual registration over 5 years, and the total government and administrative cost of owning this car is approximately $3,061. Now let us add it all up. Every dollar Jason spent because he bought this car. Purchase price plus interest, $37,080. Depreciation loss, $19,000. Insurance over 5 years, $9,900. Maintenance and repairs, $14,580. Fuel over 5 years, $7,470. Registration, taxes, and fees, $3,061. Total cost of ownership over 5 years, $91,091. Jason bought a $31,500 car and spent $91,091 on it over 5 years. That is $1,518 per month, every month, for 5 years. His loan payment was $568. The actual monthly cost of that car, when every real expense is accounted for, is $1,518. That is 2.5 times what he thought he was paying. And here is the number that should stop you cold. Jason earned $74,000 per year. After taxes, his take home is approximately $57,000. His car cost him $91,091 over 5 years. That means this one vehicle consumed 28.6% of his entire after-tax income over 5 years. More than 1 in every $4 Jason earned went to this car. He does not think of it that way. He thinks of it as a $568 payment. But that payment plus every other car-related dollar he spent absorbed more than a quarter of everything he made. Now let us look at what this means in terms of opportunity cost, because the real damage of car ownership is not just what you spend, it is what you do not invest. If Jason had bought a reliable 3-year-old used Honda Accord for $18,000 cash, no financing, no interest, his total cost of ownership over the same 5-year period would look dramatically different. Purchase price cash, $18,000. Depreciation loss, $7,200. Insurance on older vehicle, $7,500 over 5 years. Maintenance and repairs slightly higher on older vehicle, $16,000 over 5 years. Fuel same, $7,470. Registration, taxes, and fees lower, $1,200. Total cost of ownership on the used cash purchase, $57,370. The difference between Jason's new financed Accord and the used cash Accord is $33,721 over 5 years. That is $6,744 per year. That is $562 per month in additional wealth that Jason spent on a car instead of building. If Jason had invested the $562 per month difference into a simple index fund at a historical average return of 8%, after 5 years he would have $41,311. After 10 years, if he maintained the same habit of buying used with cash and investing the difference, that number grows to $103,450. After 20 years, it becomes $329,000. A car buying decision Jason made at 31 years old will cost him $329,000 in retirement wealth by the time he is 51. Not because he bought a luxury vehicle, because he bought a new financed car instead of a used cash car and never invested the difference. That is the number nobody puts on the sticker. The third thing most car buyers never calculate is the true cost per mile. When you take Jason's total cost of ownership and divide it by the miles he drove over 5 years, 70,000 miles, his actual cost per mile is $1.30. Every mile Jason drives costs him $1.30 when everything is accounted for. His commute to work is 14 miles each way, 28 miles round trip. Every single workday costs Jason $36.40 just in car ownership costs. That is before he accounts for his time. Now here is the practical framework for making smarter car buying decisions in 2026. The first rule is to calculate your total cost of ownership before you sign anything. Not the sticker price, not the monthly payment, the full 5-year number, including financing costs, estimated depreciation, insurance, maintenance, fuel, and fees. If that 5-year number exceeds 20% of your projected after-tax income over the same period, the car is too expensive for your financial situation, regardless of what the monthly payment feels like. The second rule is to understand what you are actually financing. When you take a loan on a depreciating asset, you are paying interest on something that is simultaneously losing value. For the first 2 years of a typical auto loan, the interest you are paying is greater than the equity you are building. You are going backwards financially while making payments. This is the opposite of how wealth is built. The third rule is the $15,000 threshold. Research from multiple consumer finance analysts consistently shows that the sweet spot for total cost of ownership is a reliable used vehicle purchased in the $14,000 to $18,000 range with cash or minimal financing. These vehicles have absorbed the steepest depreciation curve, are typically 2 to 4 years old with significant useful life remaining, and represent the lowest total cost per mile of any vehicle category. The fourth rule is to treat the car payment you are not making as an investment contribution. If you buy used with cash and eliminate the car payment, that $568 per month does not disappear. It goes somewhere. The decision is whether it goes to a car company or to your net worth. Jason is not a bad financial decision maker, he is a normal one. He did what every car advertisement, every dealership, and every financing institution in America is designed to get him to do. He focused on the monthly payment, he ignored the total cost, and he made a $91,000 decision while thinking he was making a $31,500 one. The sticker price is a story the car industry tells you. The total cost of ownership is the story your bank account tells back. Now, you have both numbers. If this video changed how you will approach your next car purchase, hit that like button and subscribe. I will see you in the next one.